All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Pierce Wildlife Podcast.
Welcome.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, it has. Been busy.
Actually, longer than a couple.
Yeah, we normally like to put them out a little bit sooner. We're missing it a week.
Yeah. Might even be missing a little more than that. I can't even remember at this point.
I'm pretty sure we were supposed to let it air last Monday.
Last Monday?
Yeah.
Or like,
last Monday.
Oh, yeah.
But, we had all that Griffin Cup and just tons of other stuff going along. That's that Griffin Cup and getting ready for it all. It takes all week long.
Well, and then we had a tournament the Friday before that.
Yes.
The Monday before that.
Right.
It was racing the weekend before that.
Yes. Just lots of stuff going on.
For
lots
sure.
Of stuff.
So for the people that listen every week, we're very sorry. We'll try and make this one a few minutes longer so we can have a little catch up on it.
That's right.
But yes, it's been fun though. We've had some good times these past couple weeks. The Griffin Cup went good. We had a lot of golf that weekend.
Yeah, we did. It was a good time.
I would say we, but not we. I sucked really bad, but I still had a blast.
Yeah, that's not your norm. That's kind of what we talk about. Sometimes you're on, and then you're off.
I was off.
Yeah.
And even some.
Yeah.
But more than anything, today's your birthday, Pop.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Pop. 38 of them.
30?
Oh, maybe that's 58.
Yeah, 58. Miscounted by a couple.
Yeah.
But your birthday is always fun.
Yep.
Because
Labor
we're
Day.
right there at it's
Dove
either
season,
on
deer
opening
season.
weekend
Yep.
or it's right the weekend before, and
Right.
you get a long weekend of just chilling or whatever you want to do.
That's right.
But we've had some fun this weekend.
We have had a good weekend. That's probably one of my better birthdays. I think I like that kind of birthday better. It's kind of a whole weekend instead of just a one day.
Yeah, because it's
Get up, getting them, and by the end of the day, it's over.
Yeah.
Do a little bit on Friday, a little bit on Saturday, and a little bit on Sunday, and it was a good time. We played some golf, and
what did we do Friday?
we went to that dinner over to that what's the name?
Oh
of that?
yeah, we went
Krusty Pig or
Curious Pig.
something like that.
Krusty Pig.
Curious Pig, and
Man,
if you're curious, it's really good.
I'm gonna tell you right now that you ain't joking. That's a good pun, but if you're curious, that place is awesome.
Yeah, very impressed with that food. Christian and Zach took us over there the first time, and I'm telling you, the first time was like, man, that's really good.
It's worth the drive.
Yeah, it is. It's worth the
100%.
drive.
I would drive to Peachtree City every week for that place.
Kind of a little hidden gem too. It's
Yeah,
on
not
the back
crowded.
road back there, and you don't have a ton of traffic back there.
Right.
But it's got a little outdoor setting, some indoor setting,
Yeah.
nice little ambiance.
Yeah, it is a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got 1 week, but not really. 4 days.
Yeah.
And it's opening weekend
Yep.
of hunting season, really.
Mm-hmm. Buddy Randy texted me today. He told me, happy birthday. See you next Saturday.
I know, man. We're in a weird situation too this Saturday too, because this is the first opening weekend that I have and Flint has been in a weird dilemma.
Yeah.
This year he decided to play football, which you know this,
Yep.
but listeners don't. And I realize I told him, a couple weeks ago when we got the schedule, I said, Flint, you better learn to either really love football or this is it. Because their second game is on opening weekend of dove season. Their third game is on opening weekend of deer season. And then it just continues from there.
Right. That's football, though.
I know.
It's the best time of the year for football.
And I do agree. Like, I love football.
Yep.
But, like, if I'm sitting at the dove field, I can at least be having my Georgia game on my tablet or something, watching
Right.
it. Or like me and you've done, sat in the deer stand and
There ain't nothing like it.
prop up the phone and
Take
You
my
know.
iPad.
right. I take my iPad.
Yep. Sit there and watch a game while you're hunting.
But yeah, I mean, for Flint playing though, I feel kind of guilty because
Well, he really loves hunting too, so it's tough on him. I think the dilemma's more on him than it is.
for sure,
Right. Yeah.
because that was something we were talking about last night when we were sitting over here eating, and supposedly Eden's like, okay, we'll talk about it some more.
Well, I kind of got some mixed feelings on that.
Yeah,
If you commit to something, you kind of need to follow it through.
no, and I agree with that 100%.
But also, we've been planning for this all season too, because
Well,
he's
this is-
actually been out there helping us work on the field and stuff. He's upset because don't want to miss dove shoot.
But I'm just saying, why is an 11U team in Georgia playing a game in the afternoon on opening weekend of dove season?
Well, I mean,
Doesn't that like,
yeah.
it's just like, for me, does no one think about
Well, here's the deal.
the outdoorsman
What's
side
your
of
first
it?
love? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's his first love,
Okay,
other
well,
than football.
What about that coach or that team on it that loves the football? You think they love football more than they do love dove hunting?
Oh,
so,
100%.
So you got kind of we love it all. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
And I do.
We like everything.
I do love football, but like I said, and I know he's torn too, because he
Really loves football too.
he wants to be there opening day of dove season.
And he wants to shoot
That's
those
what
dove.
he wants.
Yeah, he showed me. He got his new phone this past week. By the way, y'all got him that new
Yeah.
phone. And he was showing me his screensaver and his opening page and all this other stuff. And one was a duck, one was a dove, and one was a buck. So I'm
Right.
like, where's football on that?
Right. And I know he loves
just looked at
football,
me
and
funny.
he's having a good time with the football, and I'm cool with it. You know, whatever any of my family wants to do, I'm gonna support 100%,
That's right.
and that includes you and Mom, Christian, Zach, whatever. But I don't know. It's weird because I know without any doubt in my mind, he would rather be there on that dove field. And so it's weird because I'm like you signed up for football, but at the same time, I know where your heart is.
Well, I'll give you a little instance back when you were younger. I love deer hunting really a lot, probably way more than I do now. I mean, I still love deer hunting. I ain't gonna take nothing away from it, but younger, I wanted to hunt a lot more, and so that really was a big one for me when you were racing cars and we had to skip a hunting. I mean, I can't tell you, it's probably 2 or 3 seasons that we skipped completely. I wanted to go hunting, just couldn't get in the woods because we had a race going on, or you was contending for a championship, or we had to be here. That's when racing became a job instead of fun.
Yeah.
But but that was a good time.
I do think that was, and I don't want to take nothing away from football, his football compared to the racing, but with our racing, we were in it.
Oh, it was a big deal.
I mean, we were at the track every weekend.
Well, you're chasing championships
Yep.
at several tracks. I mean, you ended up with 5 or 7 championships in that one year.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
We went anywhere from Florida to Minnesota racing.
Yeah. Far as south as you can go, as far as north as you can go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even out west some.
I know it.
It's kind of what built you in your career, though, honestly.
Yeah.
Help you to build what you do.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be able to do what I do now if it wasn't for racing and you and, being in church and Mom and all of it, really.
That's right. God first. Hey,
Yep.
that's something that you could tell Flint, let's pray about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be hard because ultimately, when it comes down to it, I feel like we're going to make the right decision.
That's right.
But at the same time, I don't know. I don't want
Well,
to
you
keep
don't
on
want
about
to
that.
Yeah,
but
you don't want to let a teammate down or something like that too. So
after that, it's deer season.
Yep.
The next week.
I know. Man, it's here already. Can you believe it?
Man, we were talking about deer and velvet earlier. Well, you were.
Mm-hmm.
You had kind of brought that up earlier. And you had made that comment about how some of them have lost their velvet already. And it's wild how that works. Well, you were saying, hey, we should look up some key points about that. I did not know that the mature deer lose their velvet earlier.
Yeah.
That kind of helps you. Like right now, I'm in a situation where I have a couple of deer that are questionable. That big wide 8-pointer, that deer specifically, we know he's 4.5.
Right.
But he's a lot smaller than that bigger 8-pointer. But that bigger 8-pointer hasn't lost his velvet yet.
Okay, well, that's what I was just thinking. If they're losing it earlier than the younger bucks, then maybe they're not as as mature as we think they are. But you can tell. I mean, we're looking at these bucks with the back slooped and the chest poking out, belly sagging a little bit. You can tell the age on these deer still.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing too. I mean, we're really trying to figure out what the difference is, and everything that we learn from the chest or the back or the tail or the face or whatever
The
that may
hair.
be, or even the mass and all of that. But that's what we just learned now is just a whole nother
Right.
additive of how we can help age these deer.
All right. I think it's interesting how the velvet is how the nutrients get to the bone material in the antlers and it feeds those bones to make them strong and healthy. And that's another reason why we feed them those proteins and minerals and different plants and stuff that we try and help them have during the season to help them have good, strong, healthy bones. And also makes the meat more pure.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a grain-fed cow, We're grain-feeding our deer to get the same process. We had some tonight, by the way. My favorite spaghetti.
I know. We talked about that a couple weeks ago about doing spaghetti with sausage.
Yep.
It is really the best.
It is the best, dude. It's nothing like that flavor coming out of that spaghetti when you get that sausage.
It's the best.
Yep.
Something else I learned about deer velvet, which I don't know if I have to be careful about saying this because I didn't research this or Google it or anything like this. And if anybody's heard anything different, I'd love to know. But I had a our taxidermist tell me whenever they see the different colors in their rack, the reason that deer have such different colors on their rack all the time, whether it be anywhere from brown to white to red or whatever.
The grayish colors.
Yeah, gray. Yeah, I mean, however the color is, that it stemmed from different styles of trees that they rub their velvet off of.
Oh, okay.
I've never heard that before until this year, which I just assumed it was, what they ate.
Right.
You were talking about the nutrients that feed the velvet and all that and feed their rack. And that could have something to do with it as well. I wouldn't have thought that the color was specifically based off of the tree that they rubbed their velvet off with.
I know that, that one buck I killed last year had that chocolate rack. I wonder how they get their rack so dark like that too. I don't,
Yeah. And that's what he was saying. Like when Flint killed Chocolate and that deer's dark.
Yeah, it has a dark
like
rack
that
too.
thing is dark. Oh yeah. That one that you killed behind Lane's is dark.
Yeah, that was a dark rack.
That was a very dark rack too.
Mm-hmm. It's almost
But
chocolate color.
he specifically said that rack was probably rubbed on and I don't remember the tree that he called, but we'll
maybe
say
more cedars or something. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, we'll say because I want to say it was something. It wasn't a common tree. Maybe a
dogwood or something.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't know. I wouldn't
I
say.
would think if they rub pine trees, they'd get a lot of tar, which would collect more dirt.
Yeah,
maybe something like that. Just if I had
stain
a guess,
it a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? Stain it up a little bit. Different trees. Probably if the kind of the acorns that they're eating or the food that they're eating probably makes it different too.
I think it does.
I don't know.
I don't think it's just the tree or just the nutrients is what my thought process is on the color of the rack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like that could be based off of one, because you got to think if this rack is covered in a velvet, an exoskin, whatever, you have to consider that whatever they're eating is also changing the material slightly on that velvet.
Right.
Which could ultimately make it more thin. So you're getting more sunlight or, I don't know. I mean, that's just,
that's a good thought.
That's just my thought. I mean, it did make sense of him saying that the different racks being rubbed on different trees make different colors. Cause that's pretty unique.
Yeah, I hadn't seen. Most of the deer I'm seeing right now is the velvet's coming off of them.
Yeah,
a couple of them I've seen no velvet on them at all. So I don't know, but we hadn't seen a whole lot of monstrous bucks over here this year.
Right.
But I mean, you got a couple of good ones over there where you're at, and it's about time for us to find out what's going up toward the racetrack.
Yeah, which I did just put batteries and corn out. I guess it was Saturday when you went and got your Chevelle, but there was a nicer 8-pointer show up over there. Not a big 8-pointer, probably about the one I shot that one year.
On camera already?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, pretty good. I mean, it's not great, but I mean.
Right. I need to get over there and do some bush hogging to clean it up.
Yeah, that's actually
maybe this coming weekend.
Yeah, because they cleaned up the whole power line, which I know this is really for me and you and maybe people that hunt over there, but they cleaned up the power line and now my quad pod that's over there is
exposed.
I mean, exposed. We're gonna have to move that
Move it
thing
back into the wood some.
But that whole, I mean, it
But
looks
those
good.
deer
There.
have gotten used to it.
Right.
I mean, maybe put a little more cover around it, some mesh or something.
Yeah, but yeah, we're excited about deer season for sure.
Yeah, man.
Do you remember if we talked about the bog pod and the sandbag hunting or not?
I don't think we did.
That was something I wanted to get into a little bit. So that was something that the reason I wanted to bring that up was we talked about the bog pods for a little while, and I know that I've said on multiple episodes I got another bog pod, right?
Right.
The last hunt vault that I got another bog pod.
Really?
I now have 6 bog pods.
That's funny.
What in the world?
I don't know.
But this one's not the regular lock-in bog pod. This is the one that has just the 3 sticks, and it's just like the little U that you rest your gun in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 3. Listen, I don't even think it's 3 pounds. I think it's like 1.5 pounds.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. But I'm just thinking, I was kind of hating on them. That one episode that my thermal rifle fell over and broke my scope.
Mm-hmm.
And then here we are, I have 6.
Right.
And have not bought another one.
You don't need to.
No, I don't.
You're good to go.
Yeah. But, I mean, the ultimate scenario of why we're bringing that bog pod thing up is you think about bog pods and you sit in the deer stand like me and you grew up, and more you than me, but like you used a lot of trees to prop on.
Mm-hmm.
I used
our knees.
Right. Or
yeah, you
didn't have a stand or a gun rest on your deer stand is what I'm getting at.
No.
Like when I grew up, even our ladder stands had a shooting rail.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because like nowadays, which now, I mean, we're at a point where almost every one of our stands is going to have a bog pod just to stay in there at all times. But like what I'm getting at is like, even these kids, like they have bog pods to shoot out of.
Yep. That's true.
It's just, and it makes there so much less room for error.
Oh, absolutely. Those deer that I have on the wall, that one deer that you like me to tell I shot left-handed.
Yeah.
There's nothing, just
right.
Straight arms, just spun around and hold steady, buddy.
Yeah.
Take a breath and hold still.
Yep.
And that one, my first mountable buck that I got on the wall, it was the same way.
Yeah.
No rail, just hold still. I mean, there was a lot of holding still. I was very thankful when we got a shooting rail.
Yeah.
It made it a lot easier, but your arms would get tired. That would be another thing. You sit there and waiting for that deer to get in a position. It's kind of like a bow. You're standing there with that bow, and you might get to shaking before it's time for the release. But it's the same way with that rifle. Yeah. I have been holding it so long, and then have to ease it down. My arms wanting to start cramping, and you start to shaking. You get down, you have to let it rest a minute, and then pick it back up again, hoping that you don't get out of there before you can. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way.
Or hightail.
Yeah, that was it back then, buddy.
Yeah, it's funny because I got to thinking about that. Other than my bow, like I can't remember a time, well, other than that pistol last year, but I can't remember a time that I've shot a deer without a shooting rest or a bog pod or the rail of a ladder. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And it just, when you consider those bog pods, like it almost takes a little away from it, is what I'm getting at.
I think it does. I never thought about it until just now. But we always carried a gunsling. You still have a gunsling, but we used to have the gunsling and we'd wrap it around our wrist and pull it real tight, and you pull the rifle up close to your shoulder, and that would help you be the most still that you possibly can.
Right.
But now when you get in a stand, first thing you do is take sling off so it ain't flopping around and everything. But you needed it back then to help you hold steady. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting. Old school hunting, baby.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Talked to Don King the other day, and he was telling me that he went back to old school hunting.
Yeah.
Just like me and you were talking about doing.
Yep.
Did he tell you that too?
Where did you see him? Because he told me the same thing.
At the tournament.
Oh, yeah. He said he took cameras out and everything.
He took cameras out. People have been asking him, what kind of deer he got over here. He said, I don't even know.
Yeah.
He said what he does is he gets in there and he hunts and he finds the deer that he wants to target. He stays with that deer after him for a while until he gets him. But he don't put cameras out, and he's doing old school hunting again.
I think we ought to do that at some point, which I do think is good to to have cameras, and if you're wanting to grow big deer,
we're different kind of management.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're at a point, obviously, like here and over at the house and whatnot, like for us to be able to grow good quality deer, you got to kind of know what you have.
Well, it helps you know how many does you need to take in.
Right, or like
if this buck needs to go, you don't want bad genetics in there,
right?
That type of thing.
Just like that wide 8-pointer, like it's smaller this year than it was last year.
Right.
It's a 4.5-year-old deer, no question, if not older. But that deer specifically, like if we didn't have cameras, we wouldn't know that deer needed to go.
Right.
But at the same time, if you saw that deer without cameras, you'd probably shoot it.
Right.
And be so happy about it. Yep.
Right.
But it's wild because, you have new neighbors here and you're not really sure how they're going to treat deer hunting.
Nope.
And, I have neighbors around the house that, man, we're not going to have quality deer up there.
Right.
It's not going to happen. Like that 10-pointer, that was a fluke.
Right.
High top, that's a good deer. But like other than that, we're going to see about 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
After that, once they get a decent rack, they're dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate that too.
And it sucks because and which I did hear the other day from one of the neighbors that the people that bought property on the other side of the creek, I think they're going to be pretty serious about letting deer walk, which would be great. But just like I told that same neighbor the other day that 10-pointer, man, he was 2.5-year-old deer, like gonna be great.
Yeah.
And I watched him
150s by the time.
Right.
It's time to shoot him.
And I watched that deer and have him on film probably 5 times. And the neighbor, I literally heard him shoot him.
Yeah.
And it just makes you sick.
Never seen him again.
Yep.
Yep.
But I don't know. It's weird because like I would love to go back to that no cameras and even iron sights, just making it feel as what we would call old school as possible.
Right.
It's just not going to happen around here.
No. Those days are over.
Yep.
But it's good to know where we came from.
Yeah.
And we still practice that way.
Yeah.
We still shoot up open sights and no bog pod and just standing trying to shoot us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It's funny you just said open sights. That's even a different era thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that's what we had. I couldn't afford a scope back in the day. I was too, young kid, and I think I got my first scope when I was 20, probably about 20, and it was a Tasco, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was iron sights the whole time, open sights, bud. And then when I was so used to my open sights, I didn't trust a scope. So when I got my first scope, I got the over-under sights so I could look underneath through the iron sights.
I know what you're talking about.
And it would make me feel more comfortable to get my iron sights on the animal and then look up in my scope. And if it was sitting in the same place as my iron sights, then I felt like I was good.
Yeah.
Or either take a shot before we go in all the time. Of course, you're wasting ammo if you're shooting it all the time. And then eventually you get used to trusting your scope. But I always heard, you're going to bump it, you're going to knock it off. You're going to bump it, you're going to knock it off. And honestly, with the over-under sights, you were better chance of knocking it off with those than you were with a flush mount.
Yeah.
Because, you had that another inch or two in there to make up a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want to fit in a gun boot very good either.
Yeah.
A little wider.
It's so funny you talk about that bumping the scope thing because of that, I guess it translated to me a little bit.
Well, I teach you what I know.
Right.
You take it from there. You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny because like I've always been so funny about my scopes or any sort of sight that I use. Like if I'm using something with a scope or a sight, like if I even feel like it was bumped,
right,
I'm going to take a test shot.
Might as well.
And I don't know if I ever told this story on here, but I was hunting that 8-pointer over at the racetrack, and my bow fell out off of my truck. It didn't even fall I didn't mean like off the hood or nothing. Like I had it propped up on my tire, and it just kind of like leaned over and fell on its side. Like it wasn't
probably not even a foot.
No, but because of that, I was like, I got to take a shot. I got to just test it and make sure it's good. And I put I always keep a field sight in with my 3 other, I keep 1 field tip and 3 broadheads. and I took my one field tip and I shot it in that oak tree at 20 yards just to make sure it was good. It was still good, but that arrow is still in that tree, and that's been like 5 years ago.
I walk by it every time I laugh. I was like, golly, you cannot get it out. It is not coming out. It's buried. You know, the funny thing is it was even with the road.
Yeah.
As it has grown,
right,
it's turning toward the road
and it's now
so
in the road.
Okay, so that kind of gives you a little insight on how a tree grows, honestly.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. I meant to say something to you one day. I was over there and I seen it. I said, this thing is about to be in the road. Yeah. It was actually even with the road. Right. Now it's, or parallel with the road. Now it's sticking out.
Yeah. It's like a 45
The tree's growing up as twisting as it goes.
Yep.
So interesting.
It is pretty funny.
Getting educated at the same time.
Oh, man. But the things you do, you know, just to kind of like, because
you needed that sense of security because you knew you had a good chance. You was on a good buck. You know, you didn't want to take a chance.
I did not want a chance.
No, and if you would have, that would have killed your confidence if you were sitting there in the stand going, God, I hope this shot's good. You'd have been more nervous.
Yep.
You need to be as calm as you possibly can. So
that's right.
I think wasting that arrow was probably a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I do too, because there's a lot that goes into the deer hunting already, and when you're not confident, just like when it comes to golf or whatever,
that's in everything.
If you're not confident, it does take away from your chances of being better.
Right,
for sure.
Agreed. Yep, I think so.
Which, speaking of being better, we've found this group on Facebook called the Boneyard.
Maybe a bunch of boneheads.
A bunch of boneheads.
We're all a part of it.
Oh, I got to be careful how I say this because we can't say too much. But long story short, it's like a point system, but like kind of like giveaways and stuff like that. Man, we've won a ton of golf balls,
drivers,
clubs, putters.
It's just a good time.
Man, that is a good time.
Mm-hmm.
We've been kind of lucky on that.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's fun. Probably a little too much.
It is. It is too much, honestly. Because I'm on it all the time. Like where I used to be on Facebook, just if I had some time, I'd scroll or get on TikTok and scroll or whatever the situation may be, or YouTube. Now it's like, if I got a minute, I'm scrolling through the Boneyard.
Let's see what the Boneyard
got.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's really fun. I have a good time with that. Yeah.
Which I wanted to tell one more story.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, we're going to probably have to cut it off.
Okay.
But a couple weeks ago, we was going to talk about something. I don't remember what got brought up, and I was going to talk about the magnet.
Oh, my goodness.
I just got to tell this story real quick because it's so funny, and I was going to tell it a couple weeks ago. But we had a guy that was working with us up at Hills. I guess it was probably 5 years ago too, maybe longer than that.
Yeah, something like that.
But he had a bad back. He struggled with his back pretty good, so he pretty much had to sit down like a lot. Couldn't do much, couldn't lift much. I mean, he still worked
good help. He just had limitations.
Right. And so one day we had to take scrap off, and because everybody was busy and all the scrap was full, I asked him if he could just run it down to the scrap yard, because the scrap yard we used to use had a smaller magnet that would grab everything that was scrap steel off the back of the truck. Well, apparently it had been a little while since we had been down there to do that.
Right.
And he goes down there, and I told him about the magnet, and I told him, just tell him, you got a bad back, you need some help. Ask them if they can help you get it with a magnet. So he pulls over the scales and and he says, I need to get all this dropped off. So he pulls over to the guy working the yard. He says, hey, I need to unload all this scrap metal, but they told me that there's a magnet that you guys can use.
Can you get the magnet and help me with it, please?
Can you get the magnet and help me unload this truck? And that old guy looked straight at him in the eyes and said, you the magnet.
Poor fella. Could you imagine his eyes? They probably weren't real big. He like, I'm the magnet.
And he didn't call me or nothing. Like
he unloaded it.
He unloaded every bit of that metal on the back of that truck. And he came back to the shop. He said, I got to go home. I said, why? He said, because I got there and they told me I was the magnet.
I got there and said, where's that magnet? He said, you the magnet. Oh my God. Oh Lord.
Oh man. To me, it's just so funny.
It is. I mean, really.
I don't even know.
What's the odds of that? Man, that's some tough luck there, buddy.
Yeah. You ain't even joking.
Oh Lord.
Oh man.
That was funny.
But yeah, we're about pretty close to having to cut this one off.
Okay. That'll be good.
It'll be good.
Yep. It was a good time.
Sorry we missed it for a few guys. We'll
Yeah, thank y'all so much.
yeah,
buddy.
thanks for listening.
Appreciate you.
We'll
If you
try
got any comments or anything, let us know.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
We'll try and get one out next week right after dove season so we can see how we did, which this cold front I think pushed a lot of the birds off, which I talked to Brian and a couple other people. There's a lot of people that don't have the birds they did a couple of weeks ago. I was kind of concerned.
Right.
But now it seems like I think it's just probably
Others are having the same problem.
Yeah.
Well, we had that same problem a couple years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that
Mhm.
because we had them loaded down.
Everywhere.
And then we
Yep.
woke up that Friday and there was none there.
Like, where are the birds?
Where are the birds?
Mhm.
We still ended up doing good though. So, I mean, that was a
I
blessing.
think we'll still get our limits, but
Yeah.
it might be a little more scarce and
Right.
might be not such a big deal for Flint to miss doves.
Yeah.
Could play football.
Yeah.
Or whatever y'all decide to do.
Yeah. Or whatever.
That's right.
So for whoever's listening to this, obviously, if you got a field and you're hearing this, don't be too concerned if you don't have as many birds because it don't seem like
It does that way
uncommon
sometimes.
So,
Yep.
But we do appreciate you guys listening.
Absolutely.
And don't forget to hit that like, share, follow, whatever, blah, blah, all that good stuff.
That's right.
And since it's coming up,
That's right.
if it makes you shake, don't wait, don't hesitate. Shoot that thing.